Okay, this next step, which is step 12, we're going to start having some fun, and pieces are going to start fitting together, and it's going to start reminding us of something we're going to want to drive here pretty soon. So the first part to note here is AX3112-3. Okay, looks much different than what you see in the manual. This is what it looks like here. You do need to be careful because there's two of these, and I'm not sure what the difference is. I didn't look that close, but there's two of them in there that look very similar, and one of them is part 3, and I forgot the part number on the other one was like 5 or something. So make sure that you do get the proper part and look at your tree. And this is what it looks like. It's a little bit deceiving looking at the manual. It kind of just looks like a flat part like this. But this is what it looks like. It took me a minute to find it. Alright, so let's see if I can get the order right here. I haven't, just looking at the manual and how this goes together. Let's go ahead and grab the diff that we built earlier. Okay, this is the front part, and this is the rear. So we're going to refer to this as the front. Let's take this part right here, which is the 3112-3, and with the bevel going up, like you see in my hand here, we can place it down, and there's a little notch on the bottom here that it fits into. Let's fit it into that notch, and then we're going to take the, what screws are we going to use? We are going to use the AXA 121s, which are a long button head screw, and we are going to put those into the inner holes here. And screw them in. Guess it helps to use the right wrench. That's a lot of screwing to do. Those are some long threads. Let's go ahead and get that put in. Sometimes reading the manuals and actually doing these steps in the right orders are kind of a trial and error. However, I think I'm going to guide you right on this, and we won't have to take anything apart. So let's go ahead and put this long ass screw in. Excuse my French. If you have an electric driver, you might want to set the clutch really light on it, just enough to drive the screw in. Save your wrist. Starting to run out of breath doing this. Okay, there's one. I hope I don't have to take those out because we're doing something in the wrong order here. Wouldn't be the first time. Again, if you need help, even more so than what I can give you with these tutorials, don't be afraid to go to rccrawler.com, and if you scroll down quite a bit on the forums, there is an Axial Yeti thread, or actually a whole forum devoted to the Axial Yeti. Make sure you don't confuse it with the Yeti XL, because they are two completely different RCs. But you can get lots of help. There's some really good information in there by a member named Harley, who's actually extremely smart person. He's my point of contact with anything crawler. Usually one of my very first points of contact. I'll drop a message down in the forum or contact him if I need help. But he's very prominent on there and has some great answers, as well as many other people are extremely knowledgeable. So we've got that on there, just like so. Now let's make some room here. I'm going to get out these 4 flathead screws. They're the one with the bevels on them. Make sure you get the look at your manual and get the right size, because there are a couple different sizes in there, different lengths, and you want to make sure that you do get the ones that are the proper length. And I believe that, yeah, all 4 of them are the same. So we're going to take the chassis now, and you can see that it's squared off at the back, and there's a pointy area on the nose here. Go ahead and set this in. Let's turn it over and go ahead and put these 4 screws in to hold the diff to the chassis. Make sure you get the holes lined up right, and they are a little bit stiff to get these screws started. But once you get them started, they go right in. Go ahead and put in these 4. Don't over tighten them, put them in till they touch, just a little bit more. And I'm going to do the other 3 off camera. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we've got the 4 screws in here, and what that has done is it's given us a place to bolt the front A-arms into on each side there. So again, let's follow the directions here as far as orientation goes, and we are going to set this like so, because that's what it's showing in the directions here. And we are going to take the arms and we're going to place them on just like so. These slide right into the holes here. There's a little area that captures the A-arms. And take note of the orientation here, that the steering knuckle here with the arm goes towards the rear of the vehicle. This is the front, so they're going to go towards the rear. Let's find our super long screws and a little nylock nut. I'm going to use our long screw, and from the front I'm going to just place it into the hole just a little bit. You don't want it to poke all the way through. Let's slide the A-arm in, and at this point I think we'll be able to do this again later if they fall out, but let's go ahead and place the dog bones into the slots on the cups, and they'll slide right in. I'm going to take the long screw and slide it, and it's going to capture. Takes a little bit of wiggling. It's going to go ahead and capture this A-arm, and actually I guess we did not need that little nylock nut. That's my fault. And you're going to need to fiddle around up and down with this, and we need to screw this pin into the plastic. So you're going to have to kind of wiggle the A-arm a little bit until you find, oh, there we go. Actually, I was right. I guess it helps to read the directions. Let's pull this out a little bit, and that nylock nut is going to drop into this little square right here. And we're going to put it with the flat side, not the beveled or the part where you can see the white nylon, but the flat part goes towards the front of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and wiggle that around till it fits in there. Should have done that earlier. Come on. It does go in there. I'm going to take this back off, and I'm going to go off camera here so I can hold it closer to my face so that I can line it up right and get it pressed in. Okay, I got the little nylock nuts pressed in there, as you can see. Just fiddle around until the flat sides are there, and then use your nut driver or something and go ahead and push them in, and they'll seat right down in there. So, okay. Let's get back to this. We're going to go ahead and put the A-arm in. This is going to drop down enough that we can slide this in a minute, so let's not worry about that. Going to line up the bolt here, slip it through, wiggle it around till it goes all the way in. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten it up like we were doing earlier. And it's going to tighten up into that nylock nut. Go ahead and screw it in until it touches. You'll feel, don't over tighten it, but make sure it's nice and tight. And then you can always put your dog bone back into the cup at a later time, because it's going to continue to fall out. But we want to double check and make sure everything operates nice and smooth. Let's turn around and do this on the other side. Again, we want to double check, make sure we're putting this on properly with the steering arm towards the rear. I'm going to slide that in. Get everything to line up and tighten it up. Screw it in until it touches, and then you can tighten it up a little bit more. You don't want to over tighten it. Okay, so at the end of the day here, this is what it looks like. Make sure everything, those dog bones keep falling out. The important part here is to make sure that these move freely. If they are binding, double check in there, make sure you didn't over tighten anything. Make sure you got all your tree spars off, because these should be gravity free. Alright, we are going to get our next pieces and get started on number 13.